Most people who think they love birds are actually torturing them. Not on purpose. But the damage is real, and it's happening in millions of backyards across America right now. You put out a feeder, maybe a bird bath, you wait, and nothing. Or maybe a few birds show up, then suddenly disappear. You blame the neighborhood, or the season, or bad luck. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Your yard might be sending a signal to every bird within a mile radius that says, "Danger, stay away." And the worst part? The mistakes you're making are completely invisible to you because they seem like the right thing to do. Today we're breaking down the 10 hidden mistakes that are silently driving birds away from your yard, and exactly how to fix every single one of them. Let's start with the one that shocks almost everyone. Mistake number 1, your feeder is too clean. I know. You've been scrubbing that thing every week because you care about the birds. You're using soap, bleach, maybe even a brush, and you are absolutely destroying any chance of building a thriving bird community in your yard. Here's what's happening. Birds are creatures of scent and memory. When you use strong chemical cleaners, the residue left behind, even after rinsing, creates an artificial smell that birds instinctively associate with human interference. Wild birds have evolved over millions of years to avoid anything that smells wrong. Your spotless, lemony fresh feeder smells like a trap to them. The fix is simple but counterintuitive. Clean your feeder regularly. Yes, hygiene matters, but use hot water and white vinegar only. Rinse thoroughly. Let it air dry in the sun. No soaps, no bleach, no scented products. Your feeder should smell like seeds and sun, not like a kitchen counter. Mistake number 2, you're using the wrong seed mix. Walk into any big box store and you'll find colorful bags of wild bird mix with pictures of cardinals and goldfinches on the front. It's marketing, not biology. Most of those cheap mixes are loaded with red millet, golden millet, and oats, fillers that very few North American birds actually want. Birds will toss them out of the feeder onto the ground, they'll rot, they'll mold, and the birds will stop coming because the food quality signal is low. Different birds need radically different seeds. Black oil sunflower seeds attract the widest variety: chickadees, nuthatches, finches, growbeaks, cardinals. Niger thistle is specifically for goldfinches and siskins. Peanuts bring in jays, woodpeckers, and titmice. Safflower seeds are a secret weapon because squirrels hate them, but cardinals love them. Build a feeding station with multiple seed types in separate feeders, and you will see your bird diversity explode within weeks. Mistake number 3, your bird bath water is stagnant. Standing water is one of the most powerful bird attractants on the planet. Birds need water every single day, and clean water sources are rarer in the wild than most people think. But here's where everyone goes wrong. They fill the bird bath, walk away, and refill it 3 days later. By then, that water has grown algae, mosquito larvae, and bacterial biofilm. Birds can smell it. They land on the edge, look at the water, and leave. You've gone from attracting birds to attracting nothing but mosquitoes. The single best upgrade you can make to any bird bath is a solar-powered water wiggler or a small fountain attachment. Moving water creates sound, and the sound of water is like a dinner bell for birds. They can hear it from a distance and they will come find it. Change the water every 1 to 2 days minimum. Scrub the basin weekly with that same white vinegar solution. Place it in partial shade to slow algae growth. This one change alone can transform a dead yard into an active one. Now let me ask you something, and I genuinely want you to think about this and drop your answer in the comments. When was the last time you actually observed your yard from a bird's perspective, looking at it from above, looking at the sight lines, the cover, the exposure? Because that question leads us directly to mistake number 4. Mistake number 4, Your feeders are in the wrong location. Most people put their feeders where they can see them from the kitchen window. That's a human decision, not a bird decision. Birds need to feel safe while they eat. They need to be able to see predators coming. They need quick escape routes, and they need cover nearby. If your feeder is sitting in the middle of an open yard, 30 feet from the nearest shrub, birds will avoid it, especially ground-feeding species and shy woodland birds. The ideal feeder placement is within 10 to 15 feet of dense shrubs or small trees, but not so close that a cat can leap from cover onto the feeder. That gap of 10 to 15 feet gives birds a clear landing zone and a quick escape route if a hawk appears. Hawks, by the way, are the #1 reason birds suddenly stop visiting a feeder. If you would notice your yard going completely quiet for a day or two, look up. There's almost certainly a Cooper's hawk or sharp-shinned hawk perched nearby. Mistake number 5, you're ignoring the ground. A huge percentage of bird species are ground feeders: dark-eyed juncos, white-throated sparrows, doves, towhees, native sparrows. These birds will rarely or never use a hanging feeder. They eat what falls, they scratch in leaf litter, they forage in low brush. If your yard is all lawn and hanging feeders, you are invisible to half the bird species in your region. The fix: let a section of your yard go a little wild. Leave some leaf litter under trees and shrub. It's loaded with insects, seeds, and invertebrates that birds love. Scatter white millet directly on the ground in a protected area, near cover. Stop raking obsessively. What looks messy to you looks like a 5-star restaurant to a junco. If you're finding this useful, do me a favor right now and hit that subscribe button. We drop videos like this every single week, and we're just getting started. Mistake number 6, your yard has no layered habitat. This is the big picture mistake that underlies almost everything else, and it's the one that most backyard birders never even think about. Natural bird habitat isn't flat. It has layers: canopy trees at the top, mid-story trees and large shrubs in the middle, low shrubs and ground cover at the bottom, and leaf litter and bare ground at the base. Each layer supports different species. Warblers forage in the canopy. Thrushes work the leaf litter. Catbirds nest in dense mid-story shrubs. When your yard is just a flat lawn with 1 or 2 ornamental trees, you're offering habitat for maybe 2 or 3 bird species. When you add layers, even in a small space, you can support 20 or 30 species. Start by adding native shrubs. Then add a brush pile in a back corner. Let vines grow on a fence. These small steps rebuild the habitat structure that makes your yard biologically interesting to birds. Mistake number 7, you're using pesticides. This one is non-negotiable, and I'll be direct. If you are using pesticides on your lawn or garden, you are starving birds. Insects are not a nuisance in a yard. They are the foundation of the bird food web. 96% of North American land birds feed insects to their young, even seed-eating species: caterpillars, beetles, aphids, grubs. These are what baby birds need to survive and grow. A single pair of chickadees raising one brood needs between 6,000 and 9,000 caterpillars during the nesting season alone. When you spray pesticides, you collapse that food supply. Birds come to your yard, find no insects, and leave to find habitat that can actually feed their families. Switch to native plants. They host exponentially more insects than ornamentals. Tolerate a little leaf damage. That damage is evidence of a functioning ecosystem. Mistake number 8, your nesting boxes are wrong. Bluebird boxes on every fence post have become a backyard cliché, and most of them sit empty year after year. Here's why. Nest box placement and specifications matter enormously. The entrance hole diameter determines which species can enter and which predators can follow. A 1.5-inch hole is ideal for chickadees. 1.5 to 1 and 9/16 works for bluebirds. A larger hole invites starlings, which are aggressive invasive species that destroy native bird nests. Beyond hole size, nest boxes need proper ventilation holes near the top, drainage holes in the floor, no perch on the exterior. Perches help predators, not birds, and they need to be mounted facing away from prevailing wind and direct afternoon sun. Clean them out every fall after nesting season ends. Many birds will not nest in a box that contains old nesting material. Mistake number 9. You have outdoor cats. I know this is uncomfortable. I know people love their cats. But the science on this is overwhelming, and it cannot be ignored. Domestic and feral cats kill between 1.3 billion and 4 billion birds in the United States every year. That number is not a typo. Cats are the single largest human-caused source of bird mortality in North America. Larger than window strikes, larger than vehicles, larger than pesticides. Even well-fed indoor-outdoor cats kill birds. It's not hunger, it's instinct. If you have outdoor cats and you want birds, you're working against yourself. Keep cats indoors. It's healthier for the cats too. They live significantly longer lives on average. If feral cats are using your yard, contact your local TNR program and work on a long-term solution. Here's my second question for you, and this one I really want to hear your answers on. What's the one bird you've always wanted to attract to your yard but never been able to? Leave it in the comments. I'll respond to as many as I can, and we'll talk about exactly what you need to do to make it happen. Mistake number 10. You're not thinking about water in winter. Most backyard birders shut everything down in fall. They bring in the feeders, drain the bird bath, call it a season. And they have no idea how many birds they're abandoning right when those birds need help the most. Winter is the season when natural food sources collapse, insects disappear, and water freezes. Birds in winter are fighting for survival every single day. A heated bird bath in winter is one of the most powerful bird attraction tools you can have. More powerful than any feeder. In many regions, it's the only liquid water available for miles. Sweat feeders become critical in winter because birds need high-fat foods to generate the body heat they need to survive freezing nights. Peanut butter, suet cakes, black oil, sunflower seeds, these become lifelines. Don't shut down your feeding station in fall. Double down on it. The birds that find your yard in winter will return every single year, and they'll bring their offspring. Now here's what I want you to understand about everything we've covered today. Birds are not random. They are not coming to your yard by chance or leaving by chance. Every decision they make, where to feed, where to nest, where to drink, where to shelter, is driven by incredibly specific biological signals that your yard is either sending or not sending. The good news is that every single mistake we covered today is fixable. You don't need a huge yard, you don't need to spend a lot of money, you need the right knowledge applied consistently over time. Start with one thing: the seed quality, the water movement, the feeder placement, and build from there. Within one season, you will see a measurable difference in the diversity and frequency of birds visiting your yard. Within 2 seasons, you may start seeing species you have never seen before in your neighborhood. The birds are out there. They want food, water, shelter, and safety. Your yard can provide all of it. The only thing standing between you and a yard full of birds is information. And now you have it. If this video helped you, share it with someone who's been struggling to attract birds. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. Hit that button, turn on notifications, because we are going deep on backyard birding, native plants, habitat building, and wildlife gardening every single week. The birds are waiting. Let's go build them something worth coming home to.